How's it going, ding dongs? Finally back with a big project for once. We're redoing the whole braking system on this old baby. First, we're gonna replace the old rear rotors because these are completely shot, as you'll see. So we got new rotors, new pads, and then for the front we got a big old upgrade. We got Turbo Supra front calipers, front rotors, new pads, and the biggest pain in the ass of this whole project is going to be the stainless steel brake lines. So let's just get right into it.
Ding dong drift!
Here we have it, old ass stock SC400 brakes. Now there's nothing wrong with these. I mean, they stop the car and they lock up all the wheels, so they must be good enough. They're just old, the rotors are warped, and why not just go bigger if you can? I'm going to start tearing it all apart. We'll see how hard it is to get everything off. Oh yeah, there we go, just needed more heat. This is why you put grease on here. That doesn't happen again. Alright, so this side went a lot easier. First of all, there's no heat dust shield thing at all. I was able to actually unscrew the brake line instead of just snapping it off. And the rotor came off with just 2 smacks. So that's going to be it for tonight. I'll be back tomorrow.
Day 2.
Alright, the front is all done and disassembled. Not done, but it's disassembled. I don't know if you can see, but I threw the front rotors on after cleaning up the wheel hub. So let's get started on the rear. These brake pads are pretty much new, but I don't know if you can see, so badly worn. Like look at these grooves. Like my nail literally catches on these. So they replaced the pads but not the rotors, and it looks like, because huge lip here. This is why I'm redoing the whole brake system completely, because look how this craftsmanship here is beautiful. Can't see anything because it's dark. Every brake is off. Well, these are actually the new Toyota Super rotors. Got the new rotors on, and I started pulling out the beautiful brake line job. It looks like it's made out of 4 pieces. Pressure fitting, and then there's another pressure fitting underneath the engine. And then, who the hell knows where else it goes. All that's left now is to just pull all the brake lines out. Pull the ABS out. Everything's coming out. Just throw it on the time lapse and pull it all apart. 9:15. I'm exhausted, but I got done everything I wanted to get done. Every brake line besides the rear ones are removed because they're a little hard to reach in there. You see that? They go in that little clip and turn and then go underneath the heat shield, so I'm gonna have to pull that heat shield off probably and pull them out somehow. Everything else though is freaking done, dude. Look at that. Look at this engine bay, man. Look at that. Just tuck everything away. Look at this.
Oh, would you look at this?
Yeah. So yeah, these are the two rear brake lines left. So there's one. There's the other. Yeah. All that shit pulled out. All this shit. And it's heavy, dude. This is like 30 pounds. This thing's like another 30 pounds probably. So yeah, it's pretty heavy. What do you think of my calipers? I painted these today as well. Didn't film it because you've seen me paint. It's just painting. So that's it for today. Holy shit, I'm exhausted.
Day 3.
Here we are, day 3, and the hardest part of this whole job is complete. This is the brake line, the rear brake line that was down there. It was bolted in, which was a pain in the ass, so I was trying for the longest time to pull it out and I couldn't do it. Finally took the heat shield off. I didn't film it because there's nothing to see, because I can't even see. But took the heat shield off that covers the fuel lines and brake lines, and it was bolted in right there. I don't know if you can see that, but yeah, it was bolted in there. Heat shield came out with 4 bolts. Unbolted that and then just fought it for like 10 minutes because this kink, I think it was this one, was like wrapped around the fuel lines. So you couldn't just pull it straight out because the fuel lines were like this. So you had to like twist it, and yeah, it was just a real pain in the dick, man. That sucked ass. Sylvia's having the time of her life with the dog. Where's all this noise? Okay, so next up, I'm gonna install all the calipers. Got the rear calipers disassembled. Gonna sand these down, paint them to match the front calipers.
Day 4.
Alright, you saw me clean up the rear calipers while those are drying because I painted them. I'm going to show you how to assemble super calipers, super turbo calipers, whatever you want to call them. It's pretty simple. Grab your pads, make sure your little side shim things right here installed because those keep the pad from sliding around. And then in terms of side to side, I don't think it matters actually because this just moves around, so I like to just put this in the center. Grab your brake grease. Dab some brake grease on here where the pistons are going to be touching because you don't want that to rust. The brake pad. Put it in here. You see, that's the point of the shims. The pads just stay. And take these guides, start putting them in. There we go. Slide those all the way in. Then we take this, whatever we call it, and this goes, I don't think it matters which direction it goes. Could be wrong though. Yep, that just keeps the pads from sliding around this way. This little clip, put it in here, in the little hole here, and then you just put it in these holes on the pins. If you need to, you can rotate the pin, and that's it. So you assemble a poop-out caliper. Extremely simple. Alright, I'm going to do the next one, and then we're going to put them on the car. There we go. Spinning nice and smooth. That's freaking awesome. I guess my bearings aren't that bad. It was just the rotors that were shit. I found something really interesting on the other side though. Let me show you. If you can see it, there's my control arm. Look at all that. Look, it's like a ½ inch of movement. Look at the whole wheel move. Replace the control arms or replace the bushing at least. But I really don't want to because I'm saving up for the Mantis angle kit, which would be dope. So I don't want to spend money on temporary fixes. That'll just be, you know, replaced with the Mantis kit when I get it. That sucks, but what can you do? The car drives fine though, which is weird. I don't never notice anything. Alright, so both calipers are on. Now I just gotta finish painting the rear calipers now. I'll be back another day.
3 weeks later.
Dongs, it's hot as hell. It's another day, probably like a week or two later. But every single brake caliper is on, and every single stainless line is on. Now, all I need to do is run the hard lines. So I 3D printed this little hard line straightener. See, I'm straightening the lines. I need to go to the junkyard and get one of these. This is a brake line split thingy off a Corolla or Celica or whatever old small Corollas that didn't have, or small Toyotas that didn't have ABS. So they had these instead of, you know, all the blocks. So I have one that's going to be for the front brakes, and then I have to go to the junkyard and get another one that will go for the rear brakes and split the hard line. It is hot as fuck. I'm going to pack up some tools and go head out to the junkyard, and hopefully I can find some of these. If you can see that, but it is fucking hot outside, and I'm about to reach the junkyard, and I'm not excited because I'm probably going to have to cut some rusty brake lines and undo some rusty bolts, because I doubt the guy at the counter will have this part available, you know, just to grab. I don't know if you noticed, but I'm filming on a new camera. It's not a new camera, but it's a new module for my 1R camera. This is the 1-inch mod, and it can record 5.3K. So I can zoom in digitally without losing resolution, which is pretty awesome. We'll see how it looks. I have an ND filter on it because it's super bright and sunny today. So we'll see how this looks. So that's the domestic part. If you want an LS, Southwest Auto Salvage, it's the closest junkyard to me. And then this is the import corner. It's tiny, but you got plenty of parts here, so that's why I come here. Don't bottom out. Okay, we're good. 96 frickin' degrees. Let's go see if they'll sell me some shit. Shit, there we go. We got it right there. Alright, I'm gonna pull it off. There, this one's stacked though. Oh. Gotta be careful. Alright. I needed, but I didn't have any cash on me. And they only take cash right now because I don't know why. I don't know. They only take cash right now. So the guy let me go with a little debt or IOU or whatever you want to call it. So I owe the guy $5. So someday I gotta go back and give him $5. But besides that, everything's good. I'm going home now, and I can start running all the stainless lines. Not now because it's still 97 degrees outside and humid as shit, but maybe tonight, tomorrow, I'm gonna get it done, leave the brakes, and the car will be drivable again. besides all the trim and stuff missing, which is the next video.
3 days later.
It's another day. This project is literally going on forever. There's only one thing left. That's brake lines. So I have my stainless hard line here. Also, I don't know if I showed this in a different clip, but this was completely rusted over. 24 hours in white vinegar, and it's completely mint. I have other pieces too that I painted. Here's the other brake line tees. Remember, I got these from the junkyard. This one and another one. And this is the one I had. See, I painted them very poorly, but this one's going to go in the front like this. Nice and pretty. And then one of these will go in the rear. I'm not sure which one yet. We'll see. It's most likely going to be this one because I just wanted to go straight and then out to the sides. Now going to be the hard part of bending and cutting all the line, because this isn't like that soft stuff. This isn't like this. This stuff is easy to bend. Stainless, man, that shit's tough. For flaring, I got this awesome little tool. It's $30 from Summit Racing, and it is hands down the greatest brake flare tool you can buy that isn't $200 like the Eastwood one, or even $300 or whatever. Super simple. Put the line in here. This screws in, puts the line exactly where it needs to be so you don't have to guess anything. And then take this guy, Operation 1, you see there? That goes in, flip it around, that goes in, boom, double flare. And look how nice these freaking flares are, man. I don't know if you can see that, but it is perfect. Super happy with it. Came with this little lubricant, best tool ever, and it's not in a vise or in a table. This is actually meant for while you're underneath the car or whatever. So, perfect little tool. It's going to be sick. First I'm going to put this back in. This goes under the heat shield over there behind the engine. So I'm going to put that in. Today I'm going to probably do the front brake lines because it's easier. This is going to go on here like that. And then 2 brake lines. One going one way, one going the other. Let's get started. This is why this project is taking so long. Exciting. Alright, hopefully the dog sleeps a little bit. Here's what I've gotten done so far. So the fronts are done. The front is the back one, or the one closer to the firewall apparently. It's not very pretty. This stuff is really hard to bend. I've just been using 3D printed this. That works pretty well. As you saw, this works really well, really tight radius, but the problem is you can't use it when you have flares already. This doesn't work for shit at all. So now what I'm doing is running the rear line. So that's right here. It's already run through there and the heat shield. I have it clamped with my little 3D printed pieces. See those? So that's already where it will be. Now I just have to figure out where that line will go. It's a real pain in the dick to film all this, so can't really see anything anyways. I can't barely see anything. So I'll just be right back once I have something done. I'm almost done. Probably can't see anything because it's dark, so I'm gonna grab my phone. I ran the rear brake line. See it right there? It tees off. I have it mounted. Goes up above the subframe. And there it is over there. Probably can't see it, but I have this side run. I just have to tuck it up above that subframe mount, and then I just got to do this side. However, on this side, that first fuck up is biting me in the ass right now, because I have these 2 sections of brake line now instead of one solid piece. I don't have enough brake line. Here's the other piece. This is the fuck up. I straightened it as best as I could, but I'm not going to use it. It's too short anyways. So I have the little splitter block thing. This guy. This used to be over there underneath, and it was like this. So I cut it off. So I have this now. So I'm just going to join those 2 brake lines together, and all the brake lines are going to be run. Yeah, what the hell did I just say? All the brake lines are going to be run. I'm gonna flare these and then start bleeding the brakes, and we'll see if we have any leaks. I'm guessing we will. Everything's done. Time to pour. Alright, boys. The brakes are bled, and there's no leaks, surprisingly. There was a small leak here. It was coming out of my little joining block, but tightened it up. It's all good now. Yeah, all the brakes are good. Everything's tight, which is really surprising. I thought this was going to suck. So I'm super happy about this. Sylvia's brother Eric helped me bleed the brakes. So thanks, Eric. The fronts still need to be bled a little more. They're still very soft, which makes sense. They're brand new calipers. They never had any fluid in them. So it's bound to be a bunch of air. And it's 4 pistons, so I need to go. I'm going to bleed these a little more. Maybe tomorrow with Sylvia because it's late right now. Go bed in the pads. I don't know what the bed in process is, but it's usually like drive 30 miles an hour, slam on the brakes. I'll see you tomorrow on day 420 or whatever it is. Finally, this project is done. It took forever, but it looks freaking dope. Oh man, those look so good. Soon, second caliper right here. It's gonna be sick. Up next, paint. That's why everything's stripped. That's why there's no window trims. This is coming out too. Making a plexiglass window for that. It's gonna be sick. See, this is already starting to rust, so that's why I gotta get painting. Thanks everybody for watching. Sorry it took so long. This took forever, but it turned out sick. See you in the next one, ding dongs.
America, America. Do you have your passport? Did you get your driver's